Horses are Husain's most sought after collectible subject, presented here in a fully rendered form. In addition, this being a work on paper makes it more accessible in terms of price, even though it's a well-sized, impressive dimension. Now, horses are regarded as Husain's quintessential signature that first appeared in his compositions in the 1950s. The earliest roots that link Husain to horses come from his childhood memories, where his grandfather Dada Abdul would often take him to one of his personal friend Achan Mia's workshop. Achan Mia was a farrier, and Husain as a young boy would sit observing Achan Mia fixing iron shoes on the hooves of Tonga horses. This early memory was further strengthened after a visit to China, where Husain studied Song pottery horses closely. A few years later, Husain visited Italy, where he discovered the large bronze sculptures of Marino Marini, for whom horses were a constant muse. This work behind me features a pair of these magnificent beings that Husain sets against another of his recurring motifs, the black sun. This form is an interesting one, which interestingly appears in the works of several other luminaries from the progressive group, notably Sayyid Haider Raza, for whom the black sun sits occupying almost center stage in the form of the Bindu. According to Geeta Kapoor, the black sun is a device that Husain employs with no specific narrative value, but more as a form that balances empty space. Read in literal form, the black sun stands apart as one of those rare, brooding elements within Husain's compositions that lends the space with a deeper, emotional energy. Husain presents the sun with a halo of glowing red embers that resonate and connect very beautifully with the vitality and vigor of the horses. The manner in which the horses also have been presented is, to my mind, fascinating, with the two interlocked in an almost poetic balance, with one having its gaze fixed firmly forward while the other looks behind, drawing a reference to Janus, the Roman two-headed god of beginnings and transitions. Now, this god looked forward, celebrating the promise of a new day while respecting the lessons of the past, which is what, to my mind, these horses seem to be doing. Now, Husain very masterfully adds a horizontal blue line on the lower half of the sheet that creates a visual ground that affords the horses with a sense of stability and balance, while ever so subtly separating the foreground from the background. Our financial knowledge partner at IndianArtInvestor.com has shared some key information on this work. There have been 129 of Husain's works in watercolor on paper that have sold at auction till date. These have generated a turnover of 16.8 crore rupees. The price range of these artworks on paper have ranged and risen from 47,000 rupees in 1996 to 69.9 lakhs in 2020. This price was paid for a watercolor titled Rajmata with Crown Prince and Bodyguard that is at present his most expensive watercolor on paper. Now, read objectively, this work featured here is a collectible picture that we certainly would categorize as a keeper. If you'd like to discuss this work in further detail, please mail me at arvind@arteryindia.com. It would be a pleasure to hear from you.